Today I have a film breakdown of Gavin Adler. I love highlighting short guys like this. They tend to have the best footwork, and they're great to model after no matter kind of what your size is. So here's our first clip. So the main thing what I want to note with this clip is, so he's late initially here. So the pass comes down, like in a perfect world, he'd be a little lower, but he's late to this, right? But what's important here is instead of going all out trying to catch up and just completely sprinting, he stays in a slight trail position. Like here, he's in a slight trail position because he knows his attackman might roll back and forth like he is here. So even when you're getting beat, like I know it's tempting to kind of gun it and just like feel like you really need to get there, but the worst thing you can do is gun it and then he rolls back and there's no slide for where he rolls back. So if Gavin was to initially come up here and just book it up and then just get smoked, there would be the slide wouldn't really know where to go. It would be kind of just like disoriented because he'd be sent a different way. So the best thing to do is stay in a slight trail position, and I mean obviously get back, but it's kind of a balance between getting back and staying in trail position, being ready to wait for the rollback. And also, just like when you're doing footwork by yourself, one of my favorite things to do is to do drills around the cage so you're comfortable in positions like this. You can't like practice positions like this if you're just doing open field footwork. So getting out and like doing some footwork drills behind cage can really help you navigate. So it's one less thing to think about. Here's a second clip. Okay. So I've said this a lot of times. I find this one of the hardest spots to dodge for me personally. Slides tend to come later, and you feel like you're kind of like, it feels like an alley dodge with no one nearby. But what I would say is my biggest thing is the biggest threat is a dodge towards the top of GLE, right? If he gets that under, he has a full head of steam and the slide's not going to stop him. So you can give top side to like a certain extent here, right? So the main thing we want to do is we want to push out. We're not trying to seal. We want to push out. We want to get out to the sideline. So Gavin does a good job. He doesn't have to really push him out at all, but just taking away that under and pushing out, right? And it's more also a body language thing here for Gavin, like getting a stick out like that, it just makes the attacker uncomfortable. So just keeping that constant contact as he's pushing out, that's my biggest thing. So just to recap, from here, if I was Gavin, I want to deny that straight line to the top of the crease, but at the same time, I'm not trying to like completely seal him under, right? It's just kind of about getting out to the sideline because there's so much open space. Here's our third clip. I put this in here because I want to talk about picks from X, which I have a lot, and I want to talk about just athleticism as a defender. A lot of polls don't really work on speed work much, but I think this is just a prime example of why as a pole you need to be fast, so you can't just be big. A lot of it is just kind of a leg race. Right here, Gavin's slightly behind, there's a pick, it's going to slow him down. And of course he has the angle, but with his speed he's able to just completely deny a dodge before his attackman even like gets a chance. And if you're slower there, you're going to have to get into kind of like a battle right here if you're not there early. So remember, from X, biggest thing for me, I like to get under picks. So try to get under that pick and just top end speed, you know? Okay, here's our third clip. And I'm actually going to show two different clips here, and I want to compare them. So these are two clips, both from X. So let's talk about the differences here, right? I want to talk about the reason why Gavin went over instead of under in the one. So in our first pick, we see Gavin go under, which is what I normally advise to do, right? The shorty is sitting behind the pick, and it doesn't look like he might give a slap, but it looks like he's not going to double, right? And it looks like he's not going to switch. So Gavin just stays under and plays the smart play and stays under. So on the second clip, you can see the shorty is lunging out a little more, and Gavin recognizes that, so he goes in for the double, right? He comes in for the double, and the biggest thing is since the shorty is hitting him in the front, that stick is going to shoot out. The shorty's stick's going to shoot out, and Gavin's able to go for that wrap check and make it go flying. But the main thing I want you to notice is, and the clip's almost exactly the same. It's just the one difference is where the placement of the shorty, and then that's where Gavin goes. So if you see a shorty who's edging up on the pick, feel free to go for that double, and like go for it, because if you don't, that slip, this guy can slip out and then get a pass off. But if you can go for it with that short stick D mid, that's huge. And I like doubling a lot more than switching. I'd rather either stay or double. I'm not a huge fan of switching. So I just wanted to show that, and like these are the types of little things you got to watch while you watch film. Like the more you go over small little things like this, the more you recognize in your own game. You'll see like a short stick D mid lean over a little bit on a pick, and you'll know to double. So that's all I have for you today. A lot of stuff from X. I hope to do more with Gavin Adler this season. He's a great player, and thank you so much for watching.